My voice has finally recovered after the Merseyside derby. It was a fantastic experience as an Evertonian and having Moyes assistant manager as well, but the deadline's fast approaching, so I'm going to quickly share my transfer plans with you, along with the best players to buy and the best upcoming fixtures. I bought Pickford ahead of double game week 24 and it certainly paid off. He come away with a 10-pointer, including a clean sheet. This game week it's Palace away, and our defence is very strong right now. Even after Deitch has gone, it's still solid under Moyes, so I wouldn't put a clean sheet past us. Trent and Van Dijk also got a clean sheet in the first match of double game week 24. Now they've got another double game week on their hands, and I'm not too bothered about Trent's previous injury. He came on at the end of the last match, so he should be okay. The only problem with those two is that they've not got a match in blank game week 29. Pickford has, and so has Gabriel. And Gabriel's definitely going to start this game week, even though he's only got one fixture, because that's against Leicester away. If I was to recommend defenders, it would actually be the three that I've got, in order of Trent, then Van Dijk, then Gabriel. If you can't afford Van Dijk, you could always go for Konate. The reason I say that is that Liverpool and Arsenal have got the best defences in the game. I would prioritise Liverpool right now because they've got the double game week, but then Arsenal have got a fixture in blank game week 29, and if you're not free hitting that game week, or you're not sure yet, it is nice that you can cover that ground. If you need to buy a goalkeeper, and you've not already got triple Liverpool, then go for Alisson. You can't afford him, or you've already got triple Liverpool, you could go for Martinez, but with those two goalkeepers you need to remember that you need a backup goalkeeper in game week 29, or you might have to spend another free transfer there, which wouldn't actually be worth it for the double game week goalkeeper, because then you'll probably lose 4 points on a hit. And if you are going to have a backup goalkeeper, I think Jorgensen is the best one from Chelsea. He's only 4.2 mil right now. Or another option is have Jorgensen as your first team goalkeeper, who's got just as many fixtures in the next 5 game weeks as the other two goalkeepers, because he does play in blank game week 29, then you can spread the budget throughout the rest of your squad. Obviously Arsenal away is not very easy that game week, but it's not the most difficult right now either. Arsenal have got quite a few attacking injuries, so it's not too bad if you buy a goalkeeper against them right now. Quickly covering the bench, Fabianski's on there, and he's not getting anywhere near my first team. He might not even get anywhere near West Ham's first team right now. Now we have benched Castagna, and I would love to play him this game week. He's against Forest at home. Forest XG isn't actually that high, even though they're overperforming it. There should be some regression there, and Fulham's defensive numbers are actually really impressive. They're right up there, so I'd love to play Castagna this game week, but obviously looking at the 3 defenders in my first team, he's not going to get in there. It's nice insurance to have on the bench though. West Ham away is not too difficult for Van den Berg, but he does play for Brentford's defence, so I don't really want him near my first team. And it was unfortunate that Ndiaye got injured in the derby, and I did buy him only last game week, but luckily enough he did score in the double game week, so it did pay off. It goes without saying that Salah's the best captain this game week. That's why there's no best captain video. But one thing that I'd like to add to that is, if you've got your triple captain chip available, you've not activated any other chip this game week, this is the best game week to do it. And that's from a decision perspective. I think it's better to do it this game week against Wolves at home and Villa away than it would have been last game week against Bournemouth away and Everton away, which are arguably more difficult fixtures from an attacking perspective. But from an outcome perspective, obviously that very much paid off. And I wouldn't bet against that being the highest scoring game week for the triple captainship. Palmer got an assist last game week, which feels underwhelming in a double game week. He's only got one fixture this game week against Brighton away. It does feel the same again, but all the points count just as much at the end of the season. I am more bothered about game week 27, where he'll probably be my captain. He might be my captain in game week 28 as well. Then he's got a fixture in blank game week 29, so he's going nowhere. I wouldn't mind offloading Eze and Sarr. They've got 2 difficult fixtures coming up from an attacking perspective. Then they blank in game week 29 as well. But obviously, I've got the assistant manager chip activated. I'm going to spend 1 free transfer there. And I might spend a free transfer on a double game week player. That does mean that I could sell one of these, but I probably won't sell both of them. I don't know if he'll be taking a hit or not. I'm more likely to sell Gordon. He's yellow flagged in the game right now, and Newcastle have got the worst fixtures from an attacking perspective, including a blank in game week 29. And if I do sell him, I'll probably sell him for Rodgers, who's got a double game week this game week. And whilst I wouldn't want to keep him for the long term, he has got a blank in game week 29. He's on 8 yellow cards. If he gets to 10, he's got a 2-match ban, which means he would technically have 3 blank game weeks. Obviously, you'd sell him for the first one anyway, but there is a bit of a risk there, and that would be spending a free transfer on someone that doesn't play in game week 29, which could lead to a hit. If you've got free hit 29 penciled in, go for those Villa players. If not, a midfielder that I'm considering is Dango. He's only 5.1 mil, and Bournemouth have got the best fixtures from an attacking perspective, and they do play in blank game week 29. Plus, with Dango being so cheap, you can invest the money in the rest of your squad. If you are going to go for a Villa midfielder, there's only Rodgers that really appeals to me. Tielemans isn't quite as attacking, then Rashford's expected minutes are risky, and the same applies to Liverpool's midfield as well. Salah's the only reliable option. You could go for Luis Diaz, but he's got risky expected minutes just like Rashford. As for buying forwards, I wouldn't buy Gakpo because he's been ruled as a bit of a doubt. That doesn't mean that you should just go and buy Núñez, because Gakpo might still play. And do you know what, if I had Gakpo in my team, unless we got leaked team news that he was ruled out, I'd probably just keep him. Watkins has been declared fit to play, so I do think he's a really good option to buy from Villa if you're going to get a Villa player. Whilst I'm recording this video, it's just been announced that Newcastle will have a double game week in game week 32, and so will Palace as well. That would be beneficial for Isak. That would also be beneficial for Gordon, Eze and Sarr. I am leaning more towards free hit 29 than I was before, but I'm still not locked in. I might roll my second free transfer, so I can make the decision in future on what my chip strategy is going to be. João Pedro's just going to have to stay in my team. There's no forwards at his price tag that I want to bring in, and even if there was, I'd have to sell Njai first. As I briefly touched up on earlier, Newcastle and Palace have a double game week in game week 32. Newcastle face United at home and Palace at home. Palace face City away and Newcastle away, which isn't too easy for them, but it is a double game week, and look what can happen. We just seen it last game week with Everton, and one of the fixtures was against Liverpool. I've still got a lot of research to do ahead of the deadline, but my final team reveal will be posted on Twitter.